an understanding of the specific needs, concerns, and aspirations of the youth within the context of governance. When they say, we youth are the leaders of tomorrow, we are the leaders of tomorrow. So we need to put ourselves in check. A lot of people have corrected that notion, saying we are the leaders of today. Because we will hold, we will try to be accountable people. We will raise the concern, the needs, and the aspiration of the youth within the context of governance. This is to enable us to be heard and make valuable contributions in the way that we can. So yes, as always, this is going to be an interactive session where I and you will be having this conversation. I need to hear particularly what your thoughts are on some of these issues that will be raised here. Now, the first one is, what specific areas of governance do you believe directly impact the lives of young people, and what changes would you like to see in these areas? What specific area of government do you believe have direct impact and can directly impact the lives of young people, and what changes would you like to see in these areas? This is the first question. Will be, what are the areas, do you think the government affects the life of the people directly? What areas of governance do you believe directly impact the lives of young people, and what changes would you love to see in these areas? Hit me up on 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. On WhatsApp, the number is 090-9705-4450. Come, let's talk. What areas of governance particularly do you believe directly impact the lives of the youth, the young people, and what would you do by all citizens? How can the government institutions be more transparent? How can they be more transparent effectively and understood by all citizens? This is yet another question that we will be answering right here on radio. A lot of things can be done, but I want to hear from you directly. What do you think? How do you think government institutions can be more transparent? How can they be more informed? We want the youth to be more informed about governance. We want them to be involved. We want them to be more knowledgeable of the runnings of things. So, we say information is power. So giving them some level of information, giving them the opportunity to have this information, they become powerful and they feel part of the government. Remember, we were talking one time where some people feel like, the vision of this company is none of my business because I'm not consulted in any way. My inputs are not welcome. I'm not regarded as any part, of this government or this organization. So they tend to feel very nonchalant about these things, feel nonchalant about their duties. They don't care about the organization and the contributions that can be made from these organizations, right? So yes, how do you think to make a change? Because all of this is to gain their confidence and to ensure that decisions are communicated effectively and understood by all citizens. This is we're trying to canvass for youth involvement of marginalized youth, ensuring that their unique perspective are considered in policy making. One time we saw that, the president put the tax reform committee, someone who just graduated from the university at that time, was part, or I think she's still schooling, was part of that tax reform. This is one way. Inclusion, this is one way, but I want to hear other ways from us. And we also talked about that body, is it FEMA now or NEMA now, one of these bodies where a first class graduate was awarded, was appointed as president of. Yes, I know that one of the most effective way to get people involved in something, to get people to make active contributions in something, is by involving them, letting them know that their voices can be heard, letting them know that their contributions are valid. How do you think that the government can do this? Remember that you can be a part of this conversation by just calling us up on 090-7353-0044 or 090-87 090-6688-8888. You can leave us a message on WhatsApp and let us know what you think about this on 090-9705-4450. Let us know what your answers to these questions will be. I'll take more of the questions and then we'll have a rundown of other questions that follow. Now, the future of our community and how can both parties work together effectively. The people in government now, they are more advanced in age, more advanced in experience. Then we have the youth on the other hand, people who are just emerging, people who are trying to pick up interest, people who are trying to pick up values, one thing or another. So you cannot downplay the necessity of the importance of one quarter to another. So there's the old and there's the new. How can both the old and the new collaborate to bring desired results? This is what we're basically asking. How do you think those in government can collaborate with the youth? What kinds of collaboration would you love to see in certain areas? In policy making, I hear a lot of people saying, if we try to do this, the government tries to introduce this, it will help us, it will go a long way. Personally, I had a conversation with someone where the person was talking about how someone that knows there's an authority taking policies. How did they even say? They say theoretical policies. We are not just making unorthodox policies. We are making policies that are in line with the best practices. And now, what are the best practices? We are moving from a point where we're doing things with our hands. We're doing things manually. Now there's something to do something for everything. Basically, if you want to file, if you want to keep data, if you want to do whatever it is you want to do, there's always going to be something that you can use to make it easy. You see? So also I was talking one time with someone and the person says, any job that you're allowed to use your phone in the office, that's not a real job. And I'm like, no, that's absolutely wrong. You are from the ages before, advanced in age and all of that. So you think that these things are unnecessary. But you see, the people that are emerging now, they're looking for easier ways to get the job done. So while you carry files about, you walk about, there's someone there who can collect the data and collect the files that you're walking about to do, who can just collect. It's just like the mailing system, where we have people moving about with letters. You have to send a postman. Before now, you send a postman. It will take days. It will take weeks, sometimes even months before your letter gets to where it's supposed to. Now we have the emailing system. Now we have, WhatsApp. We have all these social media platforms that can help you do these things easily. Come up here and let's have this conversation. Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome. Good afternoon. All right, Felix, thank you for joining yet again.
Yes.
All right.
We are in the era of technology. I always say this.
Yeah.
We are in the era of technology. And people see phones and laptops when you carry them and you're walking on it. Time to you're doing it.
Felix, you're breaking. Can you just move a little bit to where you can get better reception?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, okay, I can hear you.
Okay. People just say like when you're walking and you're using your phone to laptop, like a good job, like you're lazy or stuff like that. But I'm getting it wrong. The world has changed. The world has changed. It has moved from analog to digital. What is analog? Back then, you hired the services of computer to save your data, to save your information, and then you're struggling with papers, your ink, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's not like that again.
Mm-hmm.
The internet alone can do all of that.
Yeah.
It can help you to even do all of that, especially the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is a public central ledger where you can share information connected with 20 computers and 20 systems, including phones and devices that can work within a central point. Let's say Federal Minister of Works and Housing or National Assembly, for example. Okay. National Assembly can have staff that can do work home because the one server. From that server, you can do shared responsibility. Somebody who has to write a memo from office A to office B can just be in his house and design my stuff and do it. And the recipient, the person who receive it, the person that is sending the senior on his behalf, you see, that's how it's done. Even with
all right.
This our leaders.
Felix, hello. Hello, Felix. Your network is very bad, so it's difficult to get what you're trying to say clearly.
Okay, let me call back.
Yeah, that would be better. Call back because I'd love you to answer some of the questions, we have been reading now. But you also can be a part of the conversation by just calling us up on 09073530044. What ways would you like to see the government and the youth collaborate? What ways? In what ways will you like to see this collaboration? What ways? I have mentioned one in tech, the youth and the government. The youth now are more knowledgeable about easy ways to do stuff, to do things. If the government adopts this and invest in, all of these, how will I put it? I don't want to say AI because that's just a very vague thing. Invest in this technology, invest in things that can make the country better so that you can understand their point of view, how they do things. They understand yours. Then they can come up with best ways that will be like a merger between you and them. So yes, let's hear you. In what ways would you like to see collaborative efforts between the government and the youth? And yes, what ways would you like to see, those happen and shaping the future of our community? And how can both parties work together effectively? Now, also, in your view, right, how can the government policies better support the educational aspirations of the youth? What do you think government policies can do, or what other policies do you think can support the educational aspirations of the youth, and what role would young people play in shaping these policies? Scholarships, this morning we raised a topic about scholarships and loans and grants and all of that. We have seen people who are now more thirsty for knowledge. You see, people who want to have the degrees, who want to have the masters and all of that. In what ways, in your view now, how can the government policies support the educational aspiration of the youth? How do you think the government policies can support this new desire to learn that the youth have, can support this new desire to gain more knowledge? How do you think the policies can support this? Hello?
Oh, it's Felix calling back again.
All right. This is better now. So let me ask you, Felix.
Yes.
I was asking, what kind of collaborative efforts between the government and the youth would you love to see? In shaping the future of our economy and, how both parties can work together effectively.
They have to synergize together. They have to allow the youth to come in because we are now in the time of the era of the technology. Back then, when they were in school and when they graduated, when they were young, much younger, like our ages, you see that things were done analogically. And now we are in digital times where you can even stay here and work in America, stay here and work in many countries and many places. Just because by using the public ledger, the digital public ledger, which is blockchain technology, and where you can share information, share a lot of data and information, decentralize your workflow and all of that together in the same place. And the person you're working for will be seeing what you're doing and receiving information. Now the blockchain technology, the former President Muhammadu Buhari has invested a lot in the tech industry. Now the tech industry have a lot of giant youth that is coming up in the tech industry. I am part of it. I am part of it because I enjoy the scholarship that President Muhammadu Buhari's government gave.
Okay.
I know the use of the blockchain.
Yeah,
I know how to use it.
Yeah.
I know the beauty of it and all of that. So it will help government, including many things. Our mining, let me tell you now, do you know that blockchain technology can help to track our mining, our mineral resources, and know the various locations where they're going to, and to also send a signal of where mining activism is going on, where it's not supposed to be taught. They will know. You will track all these things down in one place, and we can do it. we have the power, we have the ability, we have the youth that can do it. It's the same youth that can help you do that.
All right.
If they don't allow if they don't allow it to happen, it means they have vested interest on it.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my house now, I can stay and work for government as a content creator. I can create content for ministries, for example. I'm using myself as an example because I'm one of it. But there are a lot of Nigerians that are more professional than me in this. You know, so you can design software, you can design many things. I don't want to also use the word AI, just like you said, but the technology is so immense where you cannot consume it and finish it.
All right.
You can use the blockchain technology very, very well in government, running affairs. It will save government money.
All right.
Inks and paper. How much government is spending for buying papers and ink? Nowadays, we can just create the cloud system, the cloud computing. They're going to call blockchain technology and cloud computing. Blockchain technology stands to be number one public ledger, and then followed by the cloud computing. Now is the time. Cloud computing is the one that is helping many big companies around the globe to carry out taxes, to carry out data, to save the data information and other places like INEC. INEC is not supposed to play with data. INEC is not supposed to play with cloud computing. By now, we should have been upgrading our system into cloud computing and blockchain technology. The full adoption of this thing will change corruption, except if they don't want. But if you bring the youth in it, me myself alone, I know the kind of ideas I have.
That
how much more
make.
Others,
yeah.
You know, so please, government should look at how they can upgrade this their level of thinking into technology where it will help and it will streamline corruption and remove corruption completely. Because the public ledger know nothing like cheating.
All right,
it's meant to be honest and open and transparent.
Yeah, and technology affords that opportunity.
Yes, and it's affordable. So government have invested. We are supposed to be 30,000 Nigerians that will be trained, but in the end of the day, 93,000 applied. MIDDAY scholarship.
Wow.
And out of that 93,000 the people that applied, about 60-something thousand finished the training and graduated. Where other 63,000, 2,000 people in a group at the time, when you drop something, you see the response. People are even challenging themselves technologically on the things, the kind of project they can come up with.
All right.
So why government would not look at this? If you are on the internet, somebody will call you Yahoo. Anybody that calls me Yahoo, I'll sue him to court.
All right. That's okay, Felix. Thank you so much for your contribution here today.
Okay.
I really appreciate this. Thank you. Integration of, technology in governance and in some of these parastatals. He mentioned INEC. INEC should be doing cloud computing at this time. It will help minimize discrepancies, right?